Ancient wisdom often gets dismissed as outdated, but what if I told you the longest chapter in the Bible is actually a masterclass in handling modern challenges like anxiety, purpose, and personal growth?
That's fascinating. And you know what's even more interesting? This text follows an intricate acrostic pattern, with each section corresponding to Hebrew letters, showing incredible literary sophistication.
Well, what really strikes me is how the writer manages to capture such raw human emotion while maintaining this complex structure. They're dealing with everything from political persecution to deep personal struggles, yet keeping this careful poetic form throughout.
The emotional authenticity is remarkable. When they write, "My soul holds fast to the dust, revive me by your word," that's such a visceral description of hitting rock bottom while still holding on to hope.
And you know what's fascinating? The writer describes physical manifestations of their spiritual journey, trembling, tears streaming down their face, staying up until midnight wrestling with these teachings. It's like reading someone's personal journal entries from thousands of years ago.
That reminds me of how modern mindfulness practices often emphasize this whole body approach to spiritual experience. The ancient writer seems to have understood this connection intuitively.
Right? And they keep coming back to this metaphor of divine teachings as a lamp for my feet and a light for my path. It's interesting how this imagery of illumination shows up in so many spiritual traditions, from Buddhist enlightenment to Islamic Nur.
The way they frame this relationship with divine law is particularly compelling. Instead of seeing it as restrictive, they describe it as something that brings freedom, walking on a spacious plain.
Well, that's actually a crucial point about spiritual practice that often gets overlooked. The writer values these teachings more than quantities of silver and gold, suggesting that structure and guidance can actually lead to a deeper kind of freedom.
So, how do you think this relates to modern discussions about finding meaning and purpose in life?
You know, it's interesting because even though we're living in a very different world, people are still searching for that same kind of guidance and direction. Whether it's through therapy, meditation, or traditional religious practice, we're all looking for our own lamp for our feet.
The writer's honesty about their struggles feels surprisingly contemporary too. They're constantly asking to be taught, to be shown the way. There's no pretense of having it all figured out.
Exactly, and that's what makes this text so enduring. It's not just a set of instructions, it's a deeply human document about trying to live according to higher principles while acknowledging our limitations and struggles.
The way they handle opposition is particularly relevant today. They're facing serious challenges, people spreading lies, laying traps, authorities plotting against them, yet they maintain their commitment to their path.
And that's really the heart of what makes this text so powerful. It's showing us what resilience looks like in practice. It's not about never struggling or doubting, but about finding ways to return to your core principles, even when facing opposition.
Looking at the bigger picture, what do you think this ancient text can teach us about handling modern challenges?
Well, I think it shows us that the fundamental human experience hasn't changed as much as we might think. We're still wrestling with questions of meaning, still trying to stay true to our values in the face of opposition, still searching for guidance through life's dark moments. The technology and context might be different, but the core human journey remains remarkably similar.
That's such an important perspective. It helps us see these ancient texts not just as historical artifacts, but as living documents that can speak to contemporary experiences.
You know, as we wrap up, I think that's really the key takeaway here. Whether someone shares the specific religious framework of this text or not, there's something universal about the search for meaning and direction in life. Even after thousands of years, we're still asking many of the same questions and facing many of the same challenges.